Today I'm here at the Civil War battlefield of Chickamauga, and I'm about to learn more about this battle through a ranger guided tour. That's coming up next.
All those guys, like we were talking about the Midwest troops, even though they probably all know how to fire a gun, being farmers and going out and hunting and all that. I'm sure he's got a knowledge of how to load and fire that gun, because they're playing muzzleloaders. But does he know how to do it in a situation like this? How important it is to keep, loading with the rifles during the Civil War, they called it, it was a process called loading 9 times. So, there's many guns picked up after this battle here that had 3 and 4 bullets in them. And I think that just, again, tells you how chaotic everything was, how smoky, how loud it was, and those guys, how adrenaline and fear is flowing through their veins, and they probably load that gun up. A lot of them would actually load it and get so torn up that once they took the ramrod and rammed it down into the barrel, they would go right into priming it and shoot and fire the ramrod down range too. So that gun without a ramrod is what? It's a stick. So, but then again, those that were found on the battlefield with 2 or 3 bullets in them, they probably loading it and picking it up and pulling the trigger and not even realizing that gun didn't go off. And then just go right back in and load it again. And it's probably a good thing that they did find it there on the battlefield, because if that thing had went off, it'd probably killed him and a couple guys on each side of it. There's a lot you can do with it. But anyway, so what did you think about that little trek here? It's pretty long, but I guarantee you, in the situation, you would have covered that ground very quickly. So you get here now. This is the first what we've seen since we've been out here on the battlefield.
Open area.
I agree. This is it. And believe it or not, there along Battle Line Road, that was actually considered high ground over there. It was just a little bit of rolling, but once you get here, you start getting into the ridges. But now, you just imagine, that wave of soldiers are coming this way, towards Chattanooga. And Thomas gets here to this point here, and he thinks, if I'm going to save this portion of this army, here's where I got to do it. So, they're trucking up through here like this, and they get here like that. They just turn around right here, and they'll start defending this ridge for the rest of that afternoon. Now, the thing is, did you notice where the monuments there in the field stopped? They didn't go all the way down to the woods. They stopped up here. Actually, that hole in the line will actually still be there. The other, he says this portion of this army, where's the other portion? The other portion is back over there at Tour Stop 2, still fighting there. But there's a hole between this. But, you really put emphasis on, a while ago when I was saying the Confederates are just everything, this shock and awe, and this thing's moving so fast that they're just focused on what's right in front of them. Thomas knows that there is a hole, and his headquarters is actually, you see the cabin there on the other side of that, north of that, down off the hill. There's actually one of those little small pyramid of cannonballs showing where his headquarters was during this evening. He's down there, and he's looking through the north, and he just about goes into a panic because he sees another one of these dust clouds moving toward him. I always say that undoubtedly the wind, if there was any that day, was out of the north, blowing to the south, because he's able to see this big, huge dust cloud moving. He about goes into a panic because he thinks that may be Forrest and his Confederate cavalry. So now he's in a situation where he's standing here looking at all these Confederates in there keep charging over and over and over. 25 Confederate attacks that afternoon. I'm talking about this gets down to hand-to-hand combat. What happens though, he's looking at that dust cloud and those troops come into view, and lo and behold, it is Gordon Granger and his reserve unit. They have been up there, basically, y'all guys probably know where Lake Minnesota is up there. Kindly in that area there, he comes riding to aid Thomas. He knows that this, he's not been summoned to come, but he knows that the sound is not exactly right, just like Wilder did, and he comes running. So basically what will happen will be is that Thomas he's just about to run out of ammunition, all his guys up through here. We don't know how many guys that is. These monuments will go on back through here toward the west for another mile. We don't know how many troops is up here because it's been so chaotic. We're figuring anywhere between 4,000 and 6,000. A lot of them just went forever. But Granger will, along with Dark, will save Thomas here at Chickamauga. And I put a lot of emphasis on Dark also because in 1863, it got dark, it was dark. Tonight, the reason I say that, tonight if we were right here, looking to the north there, that sky would be just lit up because of Chattanooga and all the light pollution. It gets dark in 1863, you don't have that. And the reason I say that is because Longstreet sent word after this thing dies out, he sends word to Bragg and says, the enemy before me has disappeared. And Bragg will say, press him. And Longstreet says, no, I don't know where he's at. He could be in a ravine here in front of me. He could be miles away from me. Let's wait until the morning and we'll send cavalry out and see where the enemy is gone. So that's exactly what they do. Next morning, Forrest and his cavalry will go out and they'll just follow the carnage back toward wounded soldiers, leading back towards Chattanooga. So now they know that the enemy has went into Chattanooga. So this presents the million-dollar question to you. Is Chickamauga, was it actually a Confederate victory? This is not going to settle the fate of Chattanooga. Chattanooga, you remember, was the prize of this fight. So that's what, people always talk about this being a very shallow victory for Bragg because we're going to have to fight another battle now to decide the fate of Chattanooga. That will come in November. It's according to how you look at it. I always say it's according if you're just looking at Chickamauga, yes, it is a Confederate victory. But if you look at the reason why they were here, Chattanooga, I would say no. But yet, if you say no, what was Chickamauga? Just a place stop alongside the road and get rid of 34,000 troops. There's so much more. You can talk about this for forever. It still is debatable today. Civil War, basically, period, is as debatable today as it was, in 1860. But this things change from here to Chattanooga. We're talking about the weather. It's 80-something degrees during the day here, probably a lot like it is right now. And then at night, if you get down to freezing, they actually talk about frost each and every morning during the battle here at Chickamauga. But I read a fellow's diary here not too long ago that he said right after this battle, we were talking about the drought. He said now it started raining just after this battle of Chickamauga, and he said it was basically 60 days between this battle and that battle at Chattanooga. He said, but he was pretty sure it started raining. It rained 50-something of those 60 days. So now you get, if you're a member of this Confederate Army that won here at Chickamauga, you get up there and it don't take you very long for that morale to start heading downhill because at Chickamauga, Bragg loses a lot of horses. We're talking about the emphasis on those horses. Those horses are very, very important to an army, of course, because that's the way you pull equipment. Everything's done by horse. But if you look at some of these monuments, or not monuments, but the iron tablets, the gray ones, all of them basically tell you how many men wounded, missing, killed. A lot of the Confederate ones, though, will also tell you how many horses are killed. I think that's very important. Well, it was important enough that they put it on the plaque. But that is going to really affect Bragg at Chattanooga, because remember he had to send out those forage wagons to get food for the horses and men. He's not able to do that as much as he needs to bring in enough food to, you know, Army fights on his stomach. So you've got situations up there eventually that's going to be where that, you know, just think we're all in this Confederate Army. We've all come from the same community. We know each other. We've grown up with each other, you know, and you get up there and things start happening like that. You're cold and you're wet and you're hungry, and you've been there week after week, and you're pretty local, you know. You're standing up on Lookout Mountain and you look over there 3 or 4 ridge lines. You know there's a little subdivision of log cabins over there, and out on the mailbox has got my name on it. You know what I start thinking? We went to the house. A lot of that does happen. A lot of those guys will just go off the mountain over to Hooker's Army there in Lookout Valley, holding a white rag, saying, "I give up. Y'all got anything to eat?" A lot of those guys too, they get caught doing that. So then you're forced to sit there the next morning, and you watch one of your buddies, maybe a family member, your brother's there with you. He gets caught, he'll be tied to a post and shot. So now that, you know, desertion gets so bad there at Chattanooga that Bragg will start the firing squads back up. So that's we're talking about the Army that won a major battle here just a few weeks prior. So now that morale just hits the bottom, and that's going to play a part in, you know, Chattanooga, the final fate of it falling under Union hands. So anybody got any questions or comments?
Of the North that was fighting, what states were represented in the North up here?
I can't remember all of them right now. You've got Michigan. You got Michigan, Ohio, Illinois, Indiana,
New York.
New York.
New Jersey?
I think there is some New Jersey troops here. Might not be here. Maybe
leftovers that were coming from Gettysburg, maybe?
Do what now?
Were any of them coming from other areas that were fighting?
Yeah, I mean all those that were at Gettysburg, they're here also, so wherever they came from, you know.
Okay.
So they are going to be there are going to be several here. I mean, if you go back to the visitor center, I can get you a list of all of them. There will be a lot of them. These are the voices of those men that fought here. And I thought, you know, if they could talk, what would they say? So you get to researching a lot of this stuff on this battlefield, you'll find what these monuments say. And this monument right here, this is the 19th Illinois, and there's a fellow here inside that 19th Illinois that gives us his recollections of that afternoon of the 20th. So I'm going to let you I'm going to get back here behind you. Y'all just kind of come right up here and just kind of look off the hill here. We're standing in J. Henry Haney's footsteps here. He's with this group right here, and I'm going to read you what he wrote probably about 25 years after this, and let you see how sketched, probably with a branding iron into that mind. Like I say, it's J. Henry Haney with the 19th Illinois, and this is his unit right here. He says, then a forward spring toward those cannon, boom, boom there, boom, boom yonder, both sides firing at point-blank range. Jets of blazing powder jump down and scorch the earth round about. Look at those yelling Rebs, how they keep coming on. There's more than 1 million of them if there's 100. Every man is by now a perfect machine. Him not to think but to obey, to cling to his gun and aim low. Bullets splash red mud into our faces because the earth has been made mire by human blood. Still, we do not wince. Bullets, fragments of shell, grape and canister sing over and around louder than the songs of the southern katydids. You hear that katydid back there? But no one dodges. What's the use? There goes a comrade down and there's another. See that fellow kneel over there as he shoots? And the cannoneers, well, there's hardly enough of them left to fire the guns still standing. Ah, that is the third artilleryman to fall since the captain spoke. The ground shakes and trembles. The roar shuts out all the sound from the other parts of the line, if there's any of it left, if there's an Army of the Cumberland left anywhere. Shells are shrieking and canister are cutting swaths of humans in kneeling rows. Splinters off rocks are flying dangerously. The blood-soaked earth is being dug up in chunks by ripping balls. If one had time to indulge in such a thing, one might think of a tornado howling over the battlefield. The shriek of shell is the wickedest sound of battle, but nothing makes the flesh crawl like the demonic purring, whistling grape shot and the serpent hiss of canister. Men's legs are torn from their bodies and bodies are cut in two. A shell takes at most only 2 or 3 men out of the ranks as it hits, but grape or canister mows down parts of platoons and piles the dead and wounded on top of one another. Through the thick smoke, suddenly we see a swarm of men in gray, not in battle line, but an oncoming mass of soldiers bent on burying their bullets into resisting flesh. Cannon flash on them, and we volley into them our best compliments of welcome, amidst the scream of the dying as they advance. Slowly but surely, as darkness draws near, yet the rage of strife still prevails. Assault after assault is made on us by a heroic foe, and assault after assault is hurled back by heroes who hold the ridge. The sharper the attack, the more determined the defense. And meanwhile, the atmosphere is full of death. The melancholy rays of a setting sun are now shining a blurred farewell on the scene, but anxiety as to the issue of the struggle is far from settled. It is. I mean, that tells it all right there. It's just amazing how these guys, and it's the same today. I guarantee you, these men and women today in battle, they're no different. They're no different at all. This sounds crazy, but my son, he's in the Army, National Guard, and he went off last year. He was in basic training at Fort Benning for 5 months, and I've kept every letter that he wrote home, and I've compared those letters against these guys 150-something years ago, and they're the same.
The human condition.
The human is the same. That they're missing their family and home. That's it. So, you know, even though the tactics of war has changed, the equipment we fight it with and everything, this thing right here,
And the smell,
not
too.
changed.
The smell,
Yep.
the touch and the smell.
We should appreciate their sacrifice.
Yeah.
yes,
should
we do.
appreciate
Thank you,
the
sir.
sacrifice.
Appreciate that. Any questions or comments? Folks, I hope y'all have enjoyed it. I've thoroughly enjoyed your attention, questions and everything, so y'all enjoy the rest of the day. Enjoy your park.
Thank you very much.
Y'all enjoy.
Well, thank you everyone so much for watching this video of me going on a ranger guided tour here at Chickamauga Battlefield, part of Chickamauga and Chattanooga National Military Park. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please subscribe to my channel, because each and every week I publish new videos of me visiting history museums and national parks just like this one. The videos can be found at youtube.com/tnphotobug. And until next time, this is History Buff TN Photobug signing out, and I'm indeed having a blast with the past.